it was a long journey. I was working in the US, and then in 1996, I made a fateful decision to come back to India. At that time, India looked like it was waking up, and I had this sort of interesting opportunity to come back and fix a very troubled joint venture at that time between Cummins Engine Company, my employer, and Tata Motors. And the only reason I got this huge job, and I'm very fond of saying that, is because nobody else was willing to take it. So I came back and essentially spent a few years building the JV. Most people expected it to close, but we actually revived and made a success of it. And then I had a wonderful opportunity then to take responsibility for all Cummins business in India, and did that till about 2004. And it was nearly $1 billion business by the time I left. And I left in 2004 to join Microsoft and do the whole thing all over again in a very different industry, very different company. And again, we had 7 or 8 fantastic years, grew the business again to $1 billion, really transformed the image and reputation of the company. But at that time, in 2011, I began to realize that there's something fundamentally different about these two adventures. And the difference was this, that India was really important to Cummins, contributing somewhere north of 15% of its global profits. But in Microsoft, even at $1 billion, we were only 1.5% of global revenues and profits, i.e. we were largely irrelevant. And this bothered me, and I also said, okay, fine, that's where we are today, but if we extrapolate, how does it change? But even when I did that, 10 years out, India would still be 4 or 5% of Microsoft's total profits. And that didn't feel quite right. And as I looked around me, I found most multinational companies in exactly the same boat. They think they're doing okay because they're meeting budget, they're profitable, they're growing double digits. But most of them are part of what I call the 1% club, i.e. they have 1% market share in India. India contributes about 1% of their global revenues and profits. And this includes very fine, highly respected companies, not just Microsoft, but also Caterpillar, Apple, Toyota, Volkswagen, and so forth. And I said, there's something wrong here. Let me go research it, and there's probably a book in here. And here we are 2 years later.